Hello, hello, and welcome. I am Daisy, your hostess, and we are going to be taking a look at a collective reading for the week of, wow, the month has really gone by. So we are going to go through Monday, January 30th, and into the new month, through Sunday, February 5th. Wow, 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 wow. So in this video, we'll have a lot of components to it. We're going to take a look at the lunar influence, where the moon is positioned during the week, and how that energy affects us here on Earth. That'll be followed by a 7-day outlook where I will pick a card for each day of the week, and we'll have an idea what that vibration will prepare us for. And then that is followed by angels and demons. Oh my, oh my. What's whispering in our ears? Are there angels or are there demons? And what are we going to gravitate towards? That'll be interesting. Leave me your comments. I'd like to know below. All right. And then I will draw a card for the elements, our fire signs, our water signs, our earth signs, and our air signs. One for each of the elements, and get an idea what it's going to be like for all of us. And then that is followed by a random draw of a number. So we will dive into the numerology aspect to see what vibration we are getting from this number for the week and get the heads up on that. And then a mini reading to answer your subscriber community question. So if you're interested in a mini reading, go ahead and enter the question below and I will bring it forward at one of our future sessions, all right? And then we close out our session with a 1-minute meditation to allow us to come into our space, our breath. Give us this gift of awareness, right? Because sometimes we get so caught up in giving, and we forget to give to ourselves a little bit of this time. And you'd be surprised how 1 minute of focused breathing can really give us a boost. And then we finish it off with, I bring you an affirmation. You can put it on a 3x5 card, put it in your bathroom, put it on your mirror, keep it in your car, type it in your text, and use it to boost yourself up in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, all through the week. So are you ready? All right, well, without any further delay, let's get started. In this section, we will now look at the lunar influence from Monday, January 30th through Sunday, February 5th. The moon this week is showing its waxing gibbous face all the way up until Sunday, where it will be majestically full. The waxing gibbous moon, when looking from the Earth, refers to that period when the size of the surface of the moon is exposed to the sun and is increasing from half to full illumination. This lasts around 5 to 6 days before it reaches its peak in the form of the full moon. The waxing gibbous moon symbolizes the concept of final steps. During this phase, there is an inclination or urge, so to speak, to strive to complete projects effortlessly, just as the moon strives to become full. And it is because of that energy urging and nudging us ever so naturally and gently to complete and finalize and give closure to the things and events that are showing up in our life. And that is also why, for many, it poses to be the hardest part of the month, especially for those folks who struggle with wanting control over things. It would be beneficial for us all to take notes from the moon. It doesn't stop in mid-track. It continues its course, understanding and trusting in its nature, and without fail, transitions to allow us the view of its full illumination. This is a reminder that we too must come in tune with our own nature and trust the journey and shine like there is no tomorrow. If you are into developing your spiritual nature, use the waxing gibbous moon as an opportunity to refine and cultivate yourself further. You will know what needs work because those are the areas that are bringing challenge into your life now. One thing is for sure, and you can answer and confirm that for yourself. from your past experience that once you have made a commitment to yourself, you can achieve anything you want. And so the same will apply, that once you make the commitment to face these challenges, you too will be able to move on through and come through the other side, achieving new experiences and new levels of growth. So challenge yourself during this coming week to make a commitment to yourself that you will put in the time, that you will do the work, and just like the moon, slow and steady, at your pace, transition to the next opportunity that will show up for your life. Keep in mind that all is predicated upon the natural law of cause and effect, meaning your work in time will yield fruits of its nature, abundance and transformation. Overall, this week will prepare you for all of which you have been hoping to achieve and accomplish. As we enter this week, be open to the opportunity to work hard and get to where you want. It's part of the ebb and flow of nature. See it as a time for putting in the effort before you can enjoy your creations and ultimately relax, reset, and new sights to new adventures. So on Monday, January 30th, and Tuesday, January 31, the waxing gibbous moon is traveling through Gemini. Gemini wants us to focus on completing specific projects. So these next couple of days may look like perhaps you're running errands, catching up on paperwork, balancing your budget, returning phone calls and attending strategic meetings, and socializing with people that align with your mission or at least parallel to it. So on these next couple of days, make sure to question everything, and most important, keep your goal in sight and the conversational ball in play. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. And it's perfectly fine with not knowing how things will unfold. So long as you focus onward and upward, there is no time to waste looking in the rearview mirror. On Wednesday, February 1, the waxing gibbous moon transits from Gemini and into Cancer. This will be transiting right around 12 hours on Wednesday. So it's like if this is Eastern Standard Time, that's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you'll have that Gemini energy and then shifting right into the Cancer energy. So the day will start out with Gemini vibe. That's all high-end mental communication type of energy, really focused. And then bam, in the afternoon, we'll shift into the emotional Cancer. And keep in mind that we are being influenced by the waxing gibbous moon, meaning that while we were focusing on completing things and getting projects mentally organized, now we're kind of getting into our heart. We're getting really passionate. We really want to achieve these things. So that will be the vibe that we will experience on the afternoon of Wednesday. The waxing gibbous moon will remain in transit through Cancer through the days of Thursday and Friday. As the moon's transiting through Cancer, there's going to be a collective shift, as I was saying, towards prioritizing your emotional needs. So we can see that the shift now has moved from the mental to the heart, however fleeting or unpredictable that may be. So as a cardinal water sign, Cancer energy is all about actively pursuing what you feel you need in the moment. So expect your passions and your emotions to rule you with this lunar transit. While this can sometimes cause you to be a bit more reactive, it does offer you the opportunity to become reacquainted with your gut instincts. So instead of writing off your fluctuating moods, it's important to honor them, to sharpen your intuition and your insight as well as your imagination. Keep in mind that Cancer is the sign of that mothering energy. So during this moon, you'll feel a stronger urge to care for others as well, those around you, and you'll be concerned. And it might be that you may be involved in charity or helping your neighbor or some event where you are giving of yourself that you normally wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if either on Thursday and Friday, there will be issues of domestic responsibilities that you will be needing to address, and you will prioritize them first and make sure that those things get taken care of first. This could also mean inviting friends over for an evening conversation. So be aware that this influence is not exclusive to you, and that in general, people are becoming more sensitive and touchy and prone to mood swings. So embrace the idea of that nurturing Cancer and treat others gently, encouragingly, and when the moon is in Cancer, don't worry about solving difficult problems. Avoid the arguments and step into the zone of empathy and love. So, emotions will be heightened. Sometimes people just want to know you care. Also, make sure to honor your own emotional needs. And as you do that, you may find that Thursday and Friday will draw you back to what brings you comfort, what brings you security and emotional assurance. This is the time to lead with your feelings. And while that may seem a bit illogical to some of you that are not of the water nature, your intuition is very seldom wrong. So whatever this waxing moon calls you to do, this Cancer lunar influence will spotlight what is important to you and who is important to you. Then on Saturday, the moon continues its transit through the heavens and flows through the constellation of Leo. You know, Cancer helped you connect with your emotions, and now Leo will help you search for ways to express these emotions in a creative way where they can now manifest here in actuality. So this lunar influence will help you add a bit of flair and drama to whatever it is that you're doing. So expect it to bring with it a few surprises. You know how it is with dramas. Being that Leos are all about this full expression, I wouldn't be surprised if there will be a strong urge for romantic interludes, as the lunar influence may bring up and bubble up the desire to tell someone you love them or express your appreciation for them. The moon in Leo brings with it the search for beautiful things and the self-expression. So come Saturday, the weekend is here, letting your, so to speak, hair down, getting yourself comfortable. You may feel the impulse to head into your hobby room or your garage and allow the inspiration to flow. This is a great time for inventors, for writers, and artists to let the imagination run wild. After all the world's a stage during the moon in Leo. Heading into Sunday, we are no longer seeing a waxing gibbous moon. We see a full, majestic illumination of the moon in Leo, which is about embracing the larger than life attention that the moon in Leo is influencing us to do. It is wanting and asking us to see the big picture, to try to elevate yourself to the highest ideal of all the things that you want and all the things that you would like to become. It's okay to feel what's in your heart and to bring that out into the world. Full moons are about culminations of the ideas and projects that we have already started. So take advantage of this lunar influence in Leo and let it teach you what it's trying to teach you, which is that it's important to hear your heart and take courage. Our hearts contain all our feelings, including the joys, the love, the gratitude, and also our pain and our fears. So we must be willing to feel and understand everything that our hearts hold. So Leo lunar influence, this full moon, is teaching us to show up for ourselves with courage and strength, and reminds us that we can face anything. And it's teaching us that love begins with accepting all parts of ourselves. So needless to say, Sunday is about self-reflection and self-love, and I wouldn't expect anything as we are now in the month of February, with Valentine's just a couple weeks away. Leo lunar influence is reminding you that you deserve to take up space, that you are deserving of your heart's wildest ambitions and dreams. Let's move on now to the next section. Now we will take a look at the week ahead as I interpret it through the tarot. That'll be Monday all the way through the transition as we move into February, ending with Sunday the 5th. We'll give this a little activation. Let's move this right side up. Take a look here at the imagery. See a person here on this major arcana card, kind of already letting us know that there will be important things that are going to take place, very pivotal to the direction of the rest of this week, or possibly to some of the plans that you've made. So how is that going to be addressed? Because here also we see the need for that balance through the Sphinxes here, which this person is wielding forward effortlessly. You don't see any reins here. It's just moving itself forward. So what happens when we see this in reverse? And because it's in reverse, now it could mean that we have no control over the things that are happening in our lives, whether it's in our relationship, whether it's in our career, our business, our pursuit of our higher education, or things of that nature, or with our finances and investments. So it's almost like you're at the mercy of anything that's showing up because you have no structure, you have no strength to take over the reins, so to speak. So on Monday, there's going to be this feeling that things are out of control and that you've kind of lost this direction in your life. With the Chariot showing up, it's almost like, hey, this is a wake-up call for you. And let's keep in mind that we did have that number 7. When all is good and this number 7 is working in our lives, and this is bringing in and resonating the vibrations of that collective consciousness, that faith, that what I would say spiritual awakening, and you have this inner purpose, you have the focus and ability to be in that process of manifestation, and you're seeking knowledge, and it's that lucky 7. But here we have this in the reverse, and in that sense that vibrates the opposite of what we were seeing here. It could be that on Monday some things will present themselves that are going to be out of your control, because of the number 7 vibration resonates with depression, with pessimism, antisocial, dependency on others, stagnation, and lack of persistence. So when we see this here showing up in conjunction with the Chariot, it is kind of what we see, the opposite, where now the Chariot is not moving. Something has stopped. So it could be because also we are dealing with the moon in Gemini. So it could be some ideas are not lucrative. Some ideas in your mind are not of the higher vibration. It could be that you don't have the highest thoughts about some of the things that are happening in your life, and it could be your stinking thinking and or narrow-mindedness about how to approach the situations, whether it's the money situation, whether it's the career situation, or the relationship. Now that we talked about relationship, maybe you're obsessed with the pursuit of love and it's just not happening. You're not finding love. Maybe you're trying too hard and it might be turning the other person off. When we look at this now, this energy for the things in career and our job and our personal business, again, there's a sense that there is no ambition, because it could be that something to do with your career is just kind of hitting a place where you're not motivated and things are not exciting you anymore. And in the area of money, this is a warning to not rush into any propositions that may be presented to you, or any deals or any investments. This is a moment where you put a pause on that, take a look at the different possibilities, and do some more research before saying yes, before signing the contract, or before investing. And there you have on Monday, the reverse Chariot. Let's take a look at Tuesday. Okay, we do have that Gemini energy here, the air energy showing here with the page. So before moving forward, I could tell you that this seems to be a positive energy on Tuesday. Some news is coming your way, some positive news. See all the little birds bringing information. And with the Page of Swords, it is something that will benefit you because the page, to me, I associate the page with the number 11. So come Tuesday, stay on the alert. There's going to be some news coming your way. Remember, we talked about signing stuff or getting into a deal or something. So we see this person looking to the past. Could be something from the past that you're looking forward. Now it's coming in and you're kind of trying to decide, is that's something that you want to be a part of? You want to be a part of this agreement? Could be, if this could be some office politics, some news, or something in the relationship. So this, with the Page of Swords, is kind of telling you, stay alert. Stay alert for everything around you. Stay alert for any opportunity that might present for itself on Tuesday. And as you stay alert, you're vigilant and you'll be able to head things off and garner more information to make the right decisions that you need. And there is a sense to this message here that you'll be eager to put this into play because we're still working with this Gemini energy as that lunar influence of this day. So let's take a look in the area of love. For a seasoned relationship, this could be a new piece of information that's coming in that will benefit this relationship. And if this is for single people that are in pursuit of relationship, there could be someone that is of an intellectual nature that may be approaching you, or you may find someone that you can actually connect with on a mental level and see where that relationship is going to take you. And in the area of career, business, entrepreneurship, charitable organizations, higher education, this could be that there will be some type of information, some type of news, a person that's going to bring information that is going to help now move things forward. Could be a new career opportunity, could be something in academic that's going to help you move forward. Something positive is going to happen if you are in academia. And if you're in business, this could be that there's going to be some negotiations or conversations with somebody who's very intellectual, could be of the air signs, could be a Libra, could be a Gemini, or could be a Aquarius. So good things, stay on the alert for some type of communication, some type of message that's coming in that will benefit and give you much needed hope for some of the things that will be progressing forward. On Wednesday. Okay, so it's interesting here on Wednesday, things that might have been blocked on Monday seem now to be progressing. And it's interesting because we do have that shifting of Gemini into Cancer later in the afternoon on Wednesday. And why do I say that it's interesting? Because if you see, we started off the week with the number 7, but it had to do with the 7 of Chariot up in reverse. So there might be some conflict that, you're going to have to deal with, but at least you're moving forward. We now have the 7 of Wands. And so what's interesting is that here on Tuesday, we see the page bringing in some type of news, looking towards the past, yet excited about the future. And here we are with this future. And we see that the number 7 is repeated here on Monday in the Chariot, kind of meaning that, yes, while it is a reverse card, this incident or this event is critical in how we're going to get through some of the life lessons as it is represented through a major arcana card. And it looks like come Wednesday, we may have to struggle through some issues still, but we're not as unfocused, we're not as depressed, we're not as negative and unlucky as we started off on Monday. And we see that this is now transitioning from that Gemini influence, because again, we see the swords here representing also the air signs, as I mentioned. And then on Wednesday later in the afternoon, if you go back to the lunar influence, you'll hear that the moon shifts from Gemini into Cancer. So we've got more filled with this passion and heart to go forward and have the courage that we need to do the things that we have to do. It's almost like, in a way, on Wednesday, we're going to have to stand up for something. We're going to have to kind of struggle through something. And that is part of what makes us strong. When we can face the situations head on so that we can taste that success. But we can't do it if we just keep our heads under the ground. So prepare yourself for Wednesday to deal with those inconveniences and those uncomfortable moments when we're trying to put our points across with other people, or the feeling that you may need to prove yourself. So, others are going to want to succeed for themselves too. What you need to do is stay ahead of the game, stay ahead of them by doing what? By you focusing on your own race, not looking back, not worrying about them. Don't look back. Don't even look back to who you were yesterday, because you are a new person today. There is always going to be challenges towards the road of success, whatever that may mean. It could be something in your domestic life. It could be something in your business career. It could be on your personal goals. But either way, success is something personal to you and important to you the same. When we look at this in the area of love, in our relationships, to be successful, we do need to set boundaries. If you don't set those boundaries, then you create more struggle for both of you. But when you know what that partner has and what their limits are, it's not about pushing their buttons. It's about respecting that pace that they need for their growth. And at work, could it be that you are defending your position? Could it be that you're facing some challenges? Could it be that there may be some layoffs and you're trying to stand your ground by, showing that you have what it takes and that you are of value to that company? And in finances, what does this mean? Could it be that you are trying to do everything you can to keep that budget rolling and stay ahead of the game? Or could it be that you are making some gains towards those long-term earnings? Interesting how this is going to play out for us, but definitely it's a lucky 7. Moving on to Thursday. Well, nothing could ever be said best with the Emperor, with the number 4, stability. So it looks like this was worth that struggle, because here now we have 2 major arcanas. Come Thursday, we have a positive card with the Emperor showing all this earthiness, all this groundness, all the security. I am who I am, and I'm confident in what I am. The Emperor is a reminder that we have an opportunity to actually grow in what? In terms of our goals, because there is a foundation here. You have set yourself up for this. You have worked and struggled hard. You have put your mind into it. You have put also your whole passion and drive into it. So guess what? Failure is not an option. Here, this represents success with what? With what is called slow and steady wins the race, because there is no end time. This is about methodical planning, strategical planning, looking at all the things in your life that you can do to win. Because you know what? You are a corporation. You are sovereign. You stand alone. You are the business, not what you work for or who you work for. You and only you. So how do you conduct yourself? So this is representing that you're coming to a place where you're more comfortable with who you are and with what you've gained. In a relationship, this here is about relationship that stands on firm ground, that is not so much about emotions, but about logic. It could be that on Thursday, it's important as you're dealing with any matters of the heart, whether it's in your personal relationship or relationship with others in business and other endeavors, that you need to put the heart aside for whatever may be showing up on Thursday and look at the situation logically. As you look at the situation logically, this is not about hurting someone's feelings. This is about, it is what it is. And when you have the facts, you're not attacking the person. You are bringing up the matters that present themselves clear, the ones that can be addressed. In the area of career and business, what we have here is that finally we've had the breakthrough we were looking for. And here, the things that were in your hands have now morphed themselves into symbols of power. And you can now continue the course because you have the discipline, you have the resources, you have what it takes to continue forward. And it could be that you could be relying on someone that is this mentor, or they may be looking to you for mentorship. Let's take a look at Friday. Pairing up, we've got the number 2. We see the stability of the throne that we had from the Emperor. So the number 2 here resonates with the vibrations of duty and balance and service, divine life purpose. And also there's a sense of sociableness, when you have the number 1 standing by itself, but when the number 2 shows up, there's a sense of society, there's a sense of balance, there's a sense of relationship and partnerships. So we have this here. Also, mediation, we can talk about things, we can talk about that progress before we make that next step. So we have a sense of rhythm here with the number 2, and that is just the vibration we see here. As we look at the card, we see someone who is stable, and come Friday, maybe we are thinking about making investments, traveling, expanding our horizon. You are now looking at your long-term goals and trying to figure out a way how you're going to move towards them, thinking about making some decisions that may affect your current balance here. And it seems that you are getting yourself ready to, leave this comfort zone and expand your territory. In relationship, it could be that you may have found that partner, that person, that significant other, and you would like to plan a future. You would like to kind of go to the next level with this person. In the area of career and business, what we have here, or of your higher academics, here is that now you've reached a certain place. Here, this is about making those dreams come true. In your career, it could be looking for ways to supplement this career and expand this knowledge of base that you already have, and probably making other steps to grow that. Not so much leaving this, because as you can see, you're considering, hey, I'm not going to let go of this right away, but I'm going to look at something that can complement this, and I'm ready to take that leap of faith. Also, in the area of money, this could be that you're looking at making some investments that are solid and involving things in the future. You may not see them here, but you want to lay the foundation for things that can have return on its investment in the future. Saturday. Hey, what a wonderful card to show up. Definitely on Saturday, it's exuding and vibrating with this energy of success. And we remember that now we have the moon in waxing gibbous Leo. So we have this fire energy floating in, and now with the world showing up, it's almost like nothing is impossible for us as we begin to look inward and look at ourselves and, declare that this is our time. And so there is a sense of fulfillment here with the world card. Let's focus on the number 21. We take the number 21 first and bring it down to its core number, the 2 and the 1. The 2 resonating what we saw here, the balance. So we were able to draw this here, the balance that we saw, the service, the harmony, all these things, cooperation, divine purpose, and then the number 1, beginning. And when we look at it, that the 2 comes first and then the 1, beginning now, because we have all this balance, we're now ready to move and progress forward. We're ready to start something new. We want to create our own realities, and we want to be fulfilled. And this is a sense that this timing is now to make that happen. Because then when you take those 2 numbers, the 2 and the 1, it gives us the vibration that resonates with the number 3. And the number 3 is about inspiration. It's about growth. It's about manifesting. It's about self-expression. And what a better day as we are moving into this lunar energy influenced by Leo. The world itself, and now we have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards. So here come the weekend, we are feeling really good. We're feeling that, hey, no matter what it was, no matter how the week started, and that we had to stand our ground, but when we did, we were able to come through it very strong, and we feel very, very comfortable about where we are. We're feeling like we've achieved something, and in its sense, on a spiritual level, if there isn't something big that you're being acknowledged for, then on a spiritual level, there will be a sense that you've reached a major milestone in your life, and you have built the resilience that you need that is going to now help you withstand any challenges in the future. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be hard, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be painful. It just means that, hey, I've done this before. This is not my first time at the rodeo. In love, in our career, and in our finances, we are feeling whole and complete. We're feeling loved and we're feeling abundance. Receive whatever else the universe has to shower you with when it comes to love, when it comes to security, when it comes to financial prosperity. Sunday. Man, let me tell you, we close out the month strong and we're entering into February with love and unity and sharing and family. Hello. The 10 of Cups, we'll start with that number 10, is all about the vibration of the number 1 and 0. And it resonates with leadership, which we see here. It resonates with optimism, which shows here, and the confidence and the independence. All this is all wrapped up in this number 10, which is the combination of the number 1 and the number 0. So we're harnessing all those new beginnings with the potentiality of all that exists in the 0. A reminder also that as we achieve new milestones, we also can use that to develop our spiritual aspects of ourselves. Understanding that here with the number 10, we are seeing progress, we are seeing achievement, we are feeling success. And for some of us, it's like, it may feel like, okay, what now? And a reminder that we create our own realities. Based on what? Based on our beliefs, on our intentions, and our actions. Basically here, we see someone here reaping what they've sowed. The law of cause and effect. What you put in is what you're going to get out. It didn't help being all depressed. It's about, hey, taking what you have, moving forward, standing your ground, looking at your blessings as you have what you have, and with that, moving forward and celebrating all the successes you have and enjoying it with those around you. And does it surprise you that on Sunday we are in a full moon in Leo? A reminder again that we deserve to take up this space. We deserve to have everything that our hearts desire, and no less, everything. So here we have harmony, we have happiness, a sense of health, a sense of abundance, a sense of celebrating all the bounty that shows up in your life. And there we have it, my friends. That's the week ahead. Now let's move on to angels and demons, pleasures and temptations. Angels, demons. Ace of Cups. And we're dealing with emotions, the water sign. The Ace of Cups is a reminder that new things are showing up in your life. This could be something spiritual. This could be something emotional. This could be someone. But most of all, these are the things in your heart that are going to be supporting you and helping you through the challenges that may be on their way. Angels are reminding you that there's always a new beginning. There's always something new that's showing up, whether it's a new romance, a new friendship, the next level in this relationship that you may be in. Also in your career, there's always something new and someone that is being compassionate towards you, someone that is there to help you, and someone that is very supportive. That there's always that. If you look for it, you will see it there. And when it comes to finances, also the angels are letting you know, stay your course, run your race. That, you know what, as you focus on the good, as you believe that opportunities are coming your way, those opportunities will become manifest. People will be put on your path so that you can continue moving forward to realize all your life's fulfillment. So it is about what's in your heart, and make sure that you keep that heart available for things that are going to be showing up, as the ace represents beginnings. Are you ready to receive it? Demons. Temptations. Eight of Swords, interference. Dealing with the airs. The card is upside down, so we will first look at its meaning here right side up. The number 8 resonates with the vibration and influence of authority and personal power, with self-confidence, with abundance, and also manifesting with richness, with freedom, with success, anything that you can associate with all that is opulent and beautiful and bountiful. That's where the resonation of the vibration 8 goes, with also that universal spiritual law of cause and effect. But you know what? And so in its reverse, you may be tempted to listen to the false notions of your head, and which is the negative talk, the scarcity, the fear. And that may be what's interfering in your success. It's your thinking. We see that. So when we see it like this is all about being that puppet and the struggle for freedom. And here, it's freeing yourself from your negative thoughts. So which approach are you going to use? The approach of opening your heart to receiving, or the approach of looking at what's in your mind and emptying out the things that are negative and focusing on what is good in your life, and to accept the certain place and not dream and create different stories that are not even there yet, but assume your power that you can affect change as you cut the cords in your mind about relationships that are tying you down, whether it's on a personal and emotional level, or it's someone at work, or a career that's suffocating you and you're being manipulated, or it could be that with your finances, you can't move forward because you can't see your way through on how to manage or handle your finances. But here, when we choose to cut the cords, we remove the interference and we open up that connection, the divine connection, to not get involved in the negative self-talk or the naysayers in our lives that don't want to see us succeed, that don't want to see us stable, that don't want to see us even move, because you know what, then they're not going to have their gossiping buddies. They don't want to see, you at the top. But when you cut that interference and you cut that, then you are free to move on. So which one are you going to choose? Either way, these are both good messages to be open to receive new things in your life, to open your heart. Or number 2, it could mean that the work could mean that you need to remove the negative self-talk, the little demons telling you what not to do or what to be afraid of. So as we work on this, we can actually step into a whole new level for ourselves. Okay, we move now to the elements of the zodiac. Okay, we're going to first set up our signs, our fire signs, our water signs, our earth signs, and our air signs. Let's look at our fire signs. Sagittarians, Leo, and Aries. Okay, big lessons coming through between the 29th and February 5th. It's going to be manageable crisis for our fire signs. Okay, let's take a look like this. So we start off with the number 16. The number 16 has the attributes of the number 1 and the number 6. So we talk about the combination of these energies, resonating with new beginnings, resonating and striving for progress and that self-leadership, relying on yourself. And then the number 6 relates with that love, that unconditional love. So that unconditional love for home, for family, for all those things, service to others, and that selflessness. So combined, the number 16 resonates with that personal willpower, the independence, and overcoming obstacles, which when it is reversed, we are overcoming these obstacles for sure. For sure. When we see it like this, we are being faced with lots of obstacles, but definitely seeing it upside down, that whole number 16 is vibrating in its most positive sense. But the way to overcome this, as would like to say that the angels would tell you, is that you create it through your thoughts. As you hold in your heart and in your mind the best, highest ideal for yourself, then you begin to create the chemistry in your body that's going to only look for things that resonate with those ideals in you. So this all also is a reminder that you need to trust that your needs will be met and that you will be able to focus on your life mission, as this is a major arcana. So the things that will happen during this week, and we see 3 influences and now 4 for the fire signs, that this week is something that relates with this life mission that you have. And the way that you choose, whichever one it's going to be here, is going to define the way that you're going to be able to transition this part of your spiritual journey. So for our fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, there will be some type of crisis here, and it might be very early on for you, and I could see that that definitely is a reflection on Monday and Wednesday. So prepare yourself that, this is something that's part of this journey, and that you're going to be able to get through the situation. And it looks like that you're going to break that barrier of something that you might have been kind of hesitant about, something personal, and this thing that may have created anxiety or fear is something that you're going to realize, wow, this is something I can manage through. So it could be that you might need to make some adjustments in the relationship if this is in your personal life. Or this could mean that, a breakup here. Literally, you could see that this could be a breakup of someone here that did not have the strength or the courage or did not have the commitment to, go the long haul with you. In the area of career and business, this could be a severance also. It could be a layoff. Someone's getting a pink slip. Just be prepared to, have to deal with the situation. Or it could be that there's some projects in your business or academia or anything that's related to career that might be a little bit hard to bear right now. But, stay the course, because the resources will be there if you look for them. And also it could be that in your finances, this could be some type of notice, could be some issue with your home. Looks like could be some issue with the mortgage, or could be an issue that there is a financial trouble that seems to be, coming back up and you haven't been able to get through or surpass that. But definitely look for ways, because there shows that you're going to come through with this, as some type of information may present itself by Friday. Okay, let's look at water signs. Interesting. Our water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And what do we have here with the number 9? We're getting close to something, but we're not quite there yet with the number 9. Let's put this right side up. Where the number 6 represents unconditional love, the number 9 is about universal love. So remember, something's off here, kind of feeling all about yourself here for a little bit. As you can see, very plump and content with life, and all his cups are there, and he's just had enough. But what's happened here, there's a sense that you don't have enough here. And now, what is this when it comes to that universal love with karma? And we talked about the 3 major arcanas that showed up for this week. As we close out January and enter into February, there might be what I call some spiritual work that's going to be happening here, that you're being asked to. Things are happening for that sense for you. If you are an empath or a light worker, there is things that now need to you need to declutter out of you, because you might have been taking on too much energy, and so you're feeling somewhat oppressed and really unable to move forward or shine your light as much as you want, because you're holding too much things in. So with that number 9 in its reverse, it's resonating with all these other qualities that are taking and zapping away some of your energies. Overall, kind of getting a disconnect and kind of lethargic and not able to focus on what you personally want. So as you approach the week here and look at this here for yourselves, for all my water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, we need to now be prepared that you need to think carefully about the things that you really want in your life. And you have come to a place, it seems, this week, because you're being moved by a lot of these major cards here. First, remember, you start off Monday not feeling like you're going anywhere, like you're trapped, and not only in your relationship, you're trapped in your career, you're trapped with the lack of money or the lack of investments, and you're trapped in your own self. So you start off the week with that. And it's only a wake-up call that you need to, create that path for yourself. Whether you choose the Ace of Cups or you decide to work with removing the thoughts that are, taking up rent space in your mind that are not serving you, that is a choice that you're going to need to make. Because there's no doubt, by seeing this here and looking at some of the progress that is ahead of you, you have gone through some hardships. You've had a tough road, and that might have been a very hard path for you. For the outside people looking in, they're like, oh yeah, you have it all, everything's good, I can't believe this person's got it all together. But there's something missing in your life. And even though you might want attention from others and recognition from others, the thing is that personally, you are not happy with yourself. And that's what you're seeing in the reflection when you see yourself. And it seems like nothing is good enough to satisfy, and it's feeling like there's this big black hole, and no matter what you feed it, it's just doesn't have the right meaning. So where's this coming from? That's where we need to look at that. In what parts of you do you feel that needs nurturing, that needs love, that needs this attention? So as you draw through the things this week and the experiences and events and people that you will run into, don't think so much about them, but as you see them, think about what it is that either you like or dislike about that person, and see that as a reflection for yourself so you can work on the things you need. Because in love, as this shows up, it looks like you are lacking a deep connection with this relationship, and everything just seems to be superficial. There's really no depth in this relationship, and it's why it's leaving you so empty. So it seems with your career, when you first started, you were really excited about it, but it's not really your dream job. This is not what you want to wake up to every day. So it could be that this business or this career or this partnership in your business is not meeting, all of your needs, because you need to be happy. My water signs, when it comes to work, you don't mind the work. You just want to wake up and know that you're a part of something that has meaning for you. And if this is for that collective group that's dealing with finances, it could be that you're dissatisfied with so many things in your life right now because you have not reached your financial goals. You're not getting any returns on your investments. Everything's just like stagnated right now. I could see a really tough week for our water signs. Let's move on to our earth signs. Our earth signs: Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. Page of Swords, Page of Swords. So keep in mind, for our earth signs that come on Tuesday, this actually might be a null. This might null itself out. So the opportunities may not even be there as we see them. So moving it up here for a minute, we talked about that number 11. Number 11 is a master number, which urges us to connect with our life purpose, with our soul mission. And so there could be a sense of apathy here because we have a sense of disconnect. And for our earth sign, it's really hard and we're not expressing what we want. And it's very frustrated right now for our earth signs. So it could mean that you're feeling frustrated because things are not manifesting as fast as they want. And it could be because you are unable to communicate even to yourself what you really want. When you look at what you want, then you find out you really don't want it. And when you think about what you want, then you find out that you've already moved on. So it's really hard for you to draw these things into its concrete, equivalent, because you're not holding it in thought long enough for them to build up the molecules that they need to form itself here on this earth plane. Because the more you think on something, the more it begins to see in your mind, and you'll hear things, you'll see things, you'll be drawn to it. When you're not allowing that thought to be the focal thought, then guess what? You're not building. You're not in building mode. So you know what? This here is interesting because we see the things that are up ahead. We see some major things that are presenting in your life. And then for our earth signs, with this page over here, that's been giving a sword that can cut to the truth and render justice now is in your hand, and you're not using it in its most positive sense because of your thinking. With this sword, for my earth signs, it looks like for you the option is, all you want to do is get to the end and get there fast. And this may mean that you might manipulate others for your gains as you wield this in its most darkest way. It could mean that, you are not being thoughtful in the way you speak. It could be that you really are just wreaking havoc with people in your life right now, and you are not even aware that you are hurting other people's feelings. And so as you approach this week, it really has to be with caution, because the words that you use can either build or destroy. So the question is, are you going to be choosing to manipulate, or are you going to be choosing to make things right and move forward with thought and caution? So in relationship, for my earth signs, be careful, because you might be involved in a situation that is going to put your significant other on the defensive, and it's going to just make for bad foreplay. And, you'll say things that you're going to regret. So be very thoughtful when it comes to love. In the area of career and job or business, for those collective that are focused on that area for this week, could be that you're looking for jobs, or that you're going to be called back to a couple jobs, but you're not going to feel really comfortable in anything right now. So as you're looking backwards, it's going to be hard for you to, pick where you want to stay. And if you are in a career, again, this could mean that there's some office gossip, or some rumor mills are being spread, and it would be not a good thing if it's coming from you. So the key thing to take the high road on this, if people come with gossip, is, hey, what about the weather? And take that conversation somewhere else. Don't be a part of it. It might be a setup. Okay, let's look at air signs. Interesting. So now this one has the Page of Wands, and also in its reverse. As I mentioned, that number 11 resonates with spiritual awakening. The number 11 is a master number of illumination, of high energy. It's a reminder that we need to connect with our higher selves so that we can live our soul mission and life purpose. So this is pretty much what we would call, the number 11 is usually called the illuminator, or the messenger, or even the teacher when it shows up. And we look at the different things that's showing up in our life, possibly even challenges and things that are making us feel uncomfortable, and embrace that as it's bringing light to us so that we can grow and get past that. The things that are hurting us, the things that are making us afraid, it becomes our teacher. So what is it that you are restricting? And so we'll know more now as we address and look at this as the Page of Wands. When we come back to this area, it's almost like, you see a lot of things as they're presenting themselves during the week, but you're dreaming. You're not fully connected. You're not fully invested. You're just dreaming, because you see this, he can't even walk when he has his head literally in the ground, even though the ground is up there, but he can't walk because everything's upside down for him. But he's thinking about the future, but he can't get there. And so it's important to embrace this situation and take a look. What is it? What is it that's happening right now when we have the Page of Wands here? It could mean that we're just dreaming. We just keep dreaming, and nothing that we have started is taking hold. We are not really taking it to the next step. We are not even really thinking about, well, we have some goals. We've got some things that I'd like to reach, but you know what? They're just written down. They don't have a strategic outline. They don't have in what I would call a plan. It's almost as if you were going to build a house. You can talk about it, and you can put it on your, what's it called, dream board, and put a picture up. But in your strategic plan, on your calendar, do you have the outline? What are the steps? Who's the builder? What's his name? What's his phone number? How are you going to get the financing? What's the bank institution? How much do you have to put down? Have you qualified? The title company? Do you have contractors that are going to put this together? What's their name and phone number? By when do you want to get this done? Do you need a plan with an action behind it so that you move towards it? And that's what's lacking here. You've got a lot of great ideas and you're expecting to start it, but you're more eager to start another project without finishing the old one. And we are now approaching this full moon, and it's encouraging us to get a hold. You know, we can get great ideas, but we have to get rid of some old thoughts so that we can actually move forward. And in the area of romance, if this is the collective group that is looking for some type of concrete kind of direction with this relationship, it could be that you or this other significant person is not ready to commit. I mean, this is not just a commit to let's get together. This is a commitment to what? Have you planned that? What does that commitment mean to both of you? Or could it be that, you know, you're involved with somebody who is you can't count on? So in that sense, you know, that's really frustrating. And then if this is someone that is, you know, single and looking for love, well, you need to stop looking and you need to start loving yourself. And as you exude that love, then you begin to explore your life and go try things where you're going to meet the people that are also love the things that you love. If this is the group that wants to kind of figure out what's happening with work, well, there's a sense that you're not happy with this job, you're not happy in this career, you may not be happy even in the partnership if this is a business, or you might not be happy with the way that your business is going. So it's now about how do you inject and change that script for yourself and be realistic about pursuing real goals that are going to push you out of your comfort zone. And with finances, if this is for the group that is trying to focus on what's happening with my income, my money, well, there's probably been a lot of overspending that you yourself kind of thought that you get out of, and you're surprised that you're still not out of it. So you kind of have to figure out and look for alternatives. It may mean that you might need to get another job. So for our air signs, it's coming from the air and a little bit into the intention of really doing something and get out of your head and get into action. Okay, well, there you have it. Let's go on to the numerology section of this reading. Seven. Well, this doesn't surprise me because we started Monday with the number 7. We got in on Wednesday with the number 7. So there's a number 7 showing up here, kind of reminding us, hey, this is going to be critical. And in the fact that it's up and down or down and up, it's a reminder that we do make our own luck. So we start here by looking at this number in its, core, that we see the way it's presented for us. Like as we look at that number 5, the number 5 resonates and with the influence and attributes of that personal freedom, that we may have to look at things unconventionally and not the way that it has been written or the way that it's been told to us. We might have to look at new ways of doing old things. And also this independence has to do with also being our own self and to be willing to go through the situations and challenges that are going to bring about the changes in the life that we are looking for so that we can move into our life purpose. So recently we've had some experiences and we've learned some life lessons that have allowed us to grow. We may have even had some type of journey. We may have traveled somewhere. And because of that, we're now here at this number 2. So looking at balancing ourselves out, looking to be of service, we see this sense of harmony coming in. So there's some life choices so that we can regain balance. And then we look at this in its full context as the number 7, that lucky 7, which is all about collective consciousness. This vibration is constantly bringing us into this unity and into this desire to kind of question ourselves and our own spiritual path, this inner wisdom, but also to trust that inner voice. And that's what this number 7 is. It's about this whole thing that we are being drawn to is so that we can tap into that know thyself, manifest, and create our good luck. But to do that, we need to step in the game. We need to be in the arena. We need to build up the muscles, what they call that backbone, so that we can stand through and have the courage that we need so that we can wield all the powers that we have, and we can celebrate at the end the victory of the time that we've invested. But there's this personal life lessons and choices we've got to make, and we've got to do it in a way that we balance things out so that we can create our own heaven on earth. I'd love to say that. So there you have it. Create our own luck. Let's move on to subscriber community question. Okay, if you're interested in having a mini reading here on the channel, please post your question here on this post and I will grab it for another session at another time. So here we go. Question was, what can I do to improve my current financial situation? The question that I received from you, I will address it as a universal question so that others can also benefit from this, because I'm sure that there are others too going through that. So the question today is, what can I do to improve my current financial situation? Okay, matter, and what you can do. Okay. Well, the Knight of Wands. Okay, unlike the page that's bringing us information, the Knights are the ones that do the King's bidding and run out there and, not only bring information, but they also help, expand the territory. So there's never a dull moment when we have a knight around, especially the Knight of Wands. And so the Knight of Wands here is telling you, you've got to make things happen. You can't just sit there and think it's going to get any better. Your financial situation is going to get better, because looking at what you've got will continue giving you of the same thing you have. And so there's a part of you that knows this and you're ready to move forward. And it's a reminder that you don't have to worry too much to expand your territory, to ask for the raise or to get that second job. And, you might think that you're taking away from your time, but you've just created a new circle, that you're creating new circle, new contacts, new people, new resources, new knowledge. So this night is a reminder that you can go and do that. You can go and ask for a raise. You can go and get that second job or that second investment that's going to help position you better, because you don't have to worry about it. You do have the knowledge and the skill to do that. This is a matter of planning the time and planning those moves just right. And the timing is now, because there's plenty of jobs to be had. Okay, so what's the matter here? Okay, so it looks like some of the things that's holding you back could be someone in a relationship and you're too comfortable and you don't want to leave this person's side. So you have the Two of Cups here, or that you have to talk with this person. So like that's kind of why you haven't made this choice, or this could be the reason why you want to make this choice, because you're ready to commit in this relationship. And just understand here that you also have the Six of Wands there. And when you see the Six of Wands, you see this person mounted on a horse with a victory wreath and other people supporting. So you're going to have the support. This is going to be the good timing to do that. So the way to change your financial situation is to get out and change it, to ask for that raise, to go and get that second job. It's a matter of just, are you willing to go the extra mile and do a little bit more? And it doesn't have to be a full-time job. It could be something that supplements this current income. And not only, you might think you're losing time, but you're actually gaining. And you will have the support of this person in your life. Or you may find that this person also is going to be encouraged to do more for this relationship as well. So you're going to be bringing people into this new energy of, hey, this is our life and we can design it the way we want. We don't have to be conventional like others. New life, new times, new rules. And the outcome. Oh, look at that. The outcome is, look at this, the King of Cups. You're going to feel so good. Where you think you're losing something and you're giving up something, you're actually going to be gaining so much more with the King of Cups, the sense of completion, the sense that now you have the freedom to do more, to go places, and to share of all that you have in your heart, possibly with this person. So there you have it. That's the answer to that. All right, my dear one, stick around here with me as we move on to our meditation and close it out with our affirmation. I invite you for 1 minute of silent contemplation, silent reflection with me, so we can shut down the world for 1 minute. I will ring the bell twice, once at the beginning of the minute, and when you hear the bell the second time, it means that the minute is up. So that will allow you a chance, if you would like, to close your eyes and just be in that silence with me. Observe your breathing. Observe your body in that silence. Look at the back of your eyelids. Feel the air around you, the smells around you, the noises around you. And observe yourself in that space. It may be the only minute you have all day for you, and use to reboot and reboost yourself. So let's do this. Here we go. I invite you to close your eyes. All right, my dear one. Hopefully this gives you a chance to kind of bring it back to your center and move through your day. Stay with me here as we share this week's affirmation. I'll say it twice so that the second time you can say it out loud with me. I encourage you to print this out, put it on your phone, put it on a 3x5 card, say it in the morning, say it at night, say it when you need to reconnect with your purpose. The affirmation this week is going to be surrounded around money and abundance. So if you need to attract more wealth in your life, you can reset your cue in your body to be alert for that opportunity if this is something that you need. Join me on this journey. Ready? Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. All right. Wow, my dear ones. Hopefully there is something that you can take that will empower you, that will lift you up, that will give you a different perspective to maybe a situation that you're dealing with. That is my intention here. And with that said, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you'd like to get notified when I put up my next video, and share it with your friends. And until we meet on the next video, be blessed.